In flesh, in blood, lay the self.
For me, what's wonderful about seeing real bodies doing things that might be unfamiliar is the fact that they are real bodies. It's a human being doing them, and you can't help but kind of construct narrative with that or make sense of that in that way. And for me, I've always been interested in the body slightly misbehaving, the body being slightly disorientated, slightly disjointed, and that creates its inherent beauty. So I think you can get there and pull out away, like stretch, it's really... Then, yeah, can you both go as low as you can in that stretch? Low. That's it.
He may start working on something, and then you have that idea, and then he starts working on another structure, and you have that idea, and then you think that it may follow that order, but then he completely flips it and reverses it, and you're like, oh, okay, you have to think really quick, so it's nice, it's like going for a little ride.
This piece particularly is about how thinking changed in the Age of Enlightenment, how all of a sudden, because for the first time scientists were able to do human autopsies, there was this whole new level of understanding about the body. At the same time, there's this French philosopher and writer called Diderot who compiled the first encyclopedias. And it started off this new inquiry into how the body worked, which eventually led to all sorts of developments in science to do with the brain and brain-body kind of connections. I've got quite a detailed range of collaborators, very exciting collaborators for this piece. We've got Random International, who are these amazing design collective, and now we're working on a very big kind of light object, which is a beautiful kind of large-scale light source.
They emit light from all four sides, so you never see the light directly, or you never look directly into the light. You're much more confronted with what the light creates in terms of casting shadows, and then there's going to be some algorithmic behavior in terms of how light travels over the surface of the installation that will probably resemble or can resemble some sort of swarm movement, some sort of mimicking the collective behavior of a group of little artificially intelligent objects.
I don't see it as a singular identity musically. It's rather a series of kind of snapshots and sort of moments. There is this, the sacred and the profane. There's an animal violence, sort of the malevolence of the natural world, And I think that those two things in my music can perfectly exist in harmony with each other.
Can I just see what it looks like with just one movement of the legs, not down day? I use the dancers almost as objects to think with, and I stand outside and look at them as architectural objects and work with them in that way. How is it that I can work with them to elicit material from them? How can I push them more in this direction or more in that direction? I think just one. We've been working with these cognitive scientists now with all of that information that they have known from that period of Age of Enlightenment to now about how the brain works to challenge how we work creatively with thinking about moving, with building images in our mind. How can we resource the dancers and myself to build richer images in our heads, acoustic images, visual images, kinesthetic images, that gives us new information to be able to make dances. People often ask me about, how does my work here fit in with the Royal Ballet or the Bolshoi or New York City Ballet, and as if it is a separate thing, as if my kind of arm is over there and my leg is over in this direction, all competing and doing different things. And I think for me, choreography is all about practicing. And the reason I love working in the way that I do is that I have the opportunity to practice with lots of different bodies. But when I come back to my own company, this kind of engine, if you like, for my real kind of creativity where I've got the space to really explore, I feel I've got a lot of new information to be able to resource the room with. And the dancers therefore really feel that, and you feel that the pieces really make a big leap in terms of what that content is.